This is like glass. This is incredible.
If you're watching this, it's probably because you realize that 3D printing is more than just an expensive way to make cheap plastic trinkets. If you've ever dreamed of prototyping your own products or creating custom tooling, a 3D printer will get you there, but only if you learn how to use it. Today I'm going to show you how I use my X1C to make a custom silicone work mat from start to finish. So let's go have some fun making something functional.
I'm just gonna fast forward through this part, but the basic workflow is that I'm gonna model the object in Blender first, and then I'll use what's called a Boolean to subtract the finished product out of a larger block. That'll create a perfect negative impression, sort of like the digital version of pushing a Lego block face down into a lump of clay. And then we can just pour silicone into that impression. I'll leave a link to the finished file in the description, so if you feel like making your own, you can follow along. I'm not gonna make a lot of changes in my slicer. I'm just gonna set my ironing to top surfaces and set my wall generator to Arachne. Just keep it simple. And then I'll just print that in white PLA on my X1C. And voila, master mold. Now I'm not gonna bother priming or sanding this. The ironing did a really good job. And this is just a functional item, so it doesn't have to be glass smooth. And besides, you wouldn't be able to sand into these little pockets anyways. That's the whole reason we iron. Let's set this aside. When pouring silicone, always wear gloves and make sure you have adequate ventilation. The silicone rubber I'm using is from Just Resin and comes in a part A and part B. This is why you wear gloves. I know I need about 400 grams of material, but I'm gonna introduce a small wrinkle. For the top of the hexagons, I'm gonna use a yellow color. And for the rest, I'll use a black color. To make this easy on myself, I'm just gonna split it in half. 200 grams for black, 200 grams for yellow, which means I need to start by measuring out 100 grams of part A. I'll use a 16-ounce cup, make sure my scale is tiered. It's really easy to overshoot, so make sure you go slow and give your scale time to update. I'm doing the caps first, so I wanna add in a few drops of yellow pigment. Really does look like egg. I will tare my scale again and add in 100 grams of part B. We'll mix this for about 3 to 4 minutes. It looks like we're trying to make an omelet. You wanna mix thoroughly, but not aggressively. Try to avoid folding air into the mixture and make sure you scrape the sides, the bottom, and the stick often. This is a little anemic, so I'm gonna add in a bit more pigment. Next, I'm gonna transfer this to a clean cup, and with a fresh stick, I'll just stir it for about a minute. Once my silicone has been thoroughly mixed, I'm going to degas this in my vacuum chamber. I wonder what a degassed omelet would taste like. Next, I'm gonna pour my silicone, into these small pockets and along the edge channels. I wanna make sure I fill the pockets first, and then I'll just let the silicone self-level down into the channel. The end result should be a nice, glossy, smooth surface. I'll then let that cure until it's tacky. For the black layer, it's the exact same process. Mix, color, vacuum. And the best part about working with silicone is that it perfectly bonds to itself. If you pour the second color while the first one is still a little sticky, they fuse completely, and you never have to worry about layers peeling or breaking apart later. Like I mentioned earlier, silicone is self-leveling, so you want to make sure that your mold is on a perfectly flat surface. And it's always a good idea to take one last look at it from an angle, just to make sure that there's no hairs or fuzzies that might have settled on the surface during the pour. Looks good to me, so we'll see you in 24 hours. This is like glass. This is incredible. It's so reflective. This is probably the best pour I've done. Now, technically you can demold this silicone after 3 to 6 hours, but because we've got those relatively fragile hexagons, I want to make sure to wait the full 24 hours. All right, moment of truth. Oh yeah, super cool. I am so pleased with this. Okay, so the egg might have turned into a little bit more of a yellow-green, but honestly, I kind of dig it. You can see a little bit of the layer lines down in the bottom of the tray, but I don't personally feel like that detracts from it at all. If anything, it just shows that it's handmade, not mass-produced. You know, it'd be a shame to throw away such a good mold. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pour a couple more unique colorways and then I'll post them on my Etsy. So if you feel like helping support the channel or just want some swag that you actually watched the creator make, you can hit that link in the description. This will be a small batch. I'll probably only make about 5 of them though, so once they're gone, they're gone. As for me, that about wraps things up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and we will see you on the next project.